My Startup TV. I'm your host Antara. Today in our EduTech show, we bring to you the latest from the world of education and learning. Top headlines for today are: 35 Indian institutes get featured in World University Rankings. Guidelines on e-content for children with disabilities released by Education Ministry. Karnataka CET to be held on August 28th and 29th. News for today are: 35 Indian institutes for higher education have been featured in QS World University Ranking 2022. This includes 7 universities for the first time, and IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi and IISc Bangalore have achieved top 200 position. In order to fulfill the goal of inclusive education, the Ministry of Education has released guidelines for the e-content for children with disabilities. The guidelines have been prepared by a committee constituted by the MOE. The Karnataka Common Entrance Test examination will be held on August 28 and 29, 2021. The registrations for the examination will begin from June 15th. Gurugram-based edtech startup SwiftLearn has raised $3 million in a pre-series A funding round led by Stellaris Venture Partners, Venture Highway and some angel investors. EdTech firm Upgrad is planning to hire over 1,000 people in India in the next 3 months due to growing demand of the company. The departments will be delivery, marketing, sales, learning, experience. That's all for today.
First of all, I do want to thank My Startup TV for organizing this. This is a great event, and even though we came in very late in the in the whole equation, and we were not completely ready with our collateral, I think the opportunity that I'm getting right now to be able to speak to you and to be able to reach the thousands of people that are actually going to watch this. I think that's going to be a great value add to what we are trying to do and our ability to go to market quickly. So thank you.
दादी के हाथ का स्वाद याद दिलाए दादी मसाले।
Welcome viewers for another episode of Founder Talk. This evening joining me is a young entrepreneur whose startup Cubic Online is into edutech space. Welcome Shubham, welcome to the show.
It's pleasure being over here. Thanks a lot for having me over here. I hope you're doing good.
Yes, thank you. So Shubham, let's start by understanding.
Sure.
Tell us about what is Cubic Online and why did you get into edutech space?
Sure. So basically, Cubic Online is an edutech platform. So basically, what is the definition of edutech platform? We hear a lot of edutech platforms coming up after the pandemic. So basically, it's a combination of education and technology that we are bringing. So how did we come up with this thing, and how did I actually begin my journey? So to narrate that thing, I would have to go back 8 months back when I was sitting up with this idea, and actually I did not go ahead with it, but one of my faculty. So 10 years back, I had taken a JEE coaching, and one of the faculties who was my mentor as well for last 12 years, he connected with me. He told me, Shubham, let's do this thing. I've been in this industry for 20 plus years. He has mentored AIR ones in JEE, in NEET, and he has done excellently in this industry. But he said there needs to be a change in the system. The way the system has gone for last 20-25 years, I'm not happy with it. So if you're on board, let's work on a vision together. So that is how the journey started. We came up with a vision that we want to make education accessible and affordable. So he's a managing director, Mr. Vaibhav Bajpai, and he has been an experienced member of this thing of JEE industry for quite a long time. Hence, we started this thing with a vision that, okay, let's do one thing. Let's just jot down what are the problems, what are the system that education is lagging these days. So we came up with a lot of loopholes that are there in the education system, and we worked on them. and we thought we can change them, and we came up with a very simple vision for the company that we want to make education accessible and affordable. Now, accessibility is what? We are an edutech. We are not a coaching center that we are going to give coaching lectures and tests and then you're done. You're going to go to IIT Bombay, you're going to go to AIMS, and then your life is set. No, we are an edutech. We want students to learn with us using the latest technology, and we want this to be accessible to everyone in the country for that matter. We do not want to target only the tier ones or the tier twos or the metro cities. We want students who form the 96% part of the education system to also get the same sort of resources that a kid in Mumbai gets, that a kid in Delhi gets, or that a kid in Kolkata gets, right? Next roadblock that these kids, the 96% that I'm talking about, face is affordability. So that is one thing that we worked on. How can we make it affordable? And we do not want to compromise on the quality or the accessibility of the technology to that thing. And that is how we came up with this thing. This was one of the mission of the company, but the second thing that we wanted to work on was the skill factor. You would have you would have seen in the news that this national education policy has been in place right now. It's coming into effect slowly and steadily, and they're going to implement it. So what is it about? They want the students to not only focus on just cracking the exams or just passing the boards. They want students to take skills and they want to upskill those skills. I mean, they want students to get engrossed into these things. So that is what we are working on via various programs that are currently launched.
There are, one of the things that we see, as you rightly said, post-pandemic and probably a little few years before that, when the world, Byju's of the world started, there are multiple edutech startups and platforms now. How is
Correct.
Cubic Online different to the existing platforms?
Correct. So again, I would connect the dots with the fact that I have already mentioned. First one, that again, we are trying to make it accessible and affordable. Now, when I am saying accessible, we are not using the same sort of technology that other startups are using for education. I'll just start with very basic points. So let's suppose if there is a fifth standard kid who has been taught Newton's third law of motion. So whenever that kid has been taught that thing with proper engagement and showing him proper graphics and everything, we make sure that physically a kit is delivered to his house where he can build a rocket. And that rocket is a very basic rocket, not like a proper fuel and everything. Very basic rocket, but he will build it, he will assemble it, and he will learn the principle. So our main motto is to make quality education, but we want students to learn in a different way. We want them to learn in a way that they enjoy what they are learning. Now, we have seen a lot of students say when they go ahead in their career, I've done this thing, yeah, but calculus, trigonometry, or coordinate geometry, kaha use mein aaya? Why did I study it? So, as a matter of fact, if you go on to see theory of relativity and all these great physicists and all these theories, they came out because they combined physics, calculus, and all this coordinate geometry and space time and everything. Only after that, this was possible, right? So, can you imagine? There are so many young kids who, if given proper set of knowledge and proper set of environment, we could have so many Einsteins and so many Newton. Our population is 1.5 billion for that matter. All our engineers go to NASA for sending people out of Earth's atmosphere. Why can't we do it over here? We can't do it over here because we don't have that much exposure. We have been through this system. Even I have experienced it, that my focus was to pass 10th, then my focus was to pass 12th, then my focus was to get into the best engineering college, then my focus was to get into the best MBA college. It goes on and on and on. But there has to be an ulterior motive that you should have in your mind. If I would have known that something, if I would have known entrepreneurship at that point, I would have really loved it, but I had no exposure to it. So this is one major change that we want to bring. And we just don't want, so one thing unique about Cubic is we don't only have courses that are catering to a particular set of students, unlike other people. To be honest, we are the only startup right now in edtech space who are having such a big portfolio of courses that is coming up. To be precise, 100 plus in the next 1 month. So these are not just courses related to careers. These are courses right from toddlers, right from first standard. So to mention that, one of the very, different course that we are bringing up is a robotic model. So a kid is going to be trained in a very subtle way in proportion to his standard about the robotics. And then he's going to assemble a kit based on his idea. And this will be very basic. Let's suppose if a child says that garden mein pani dalne wala robot ka ye chahiye, he will be mentored and he will be taught how to do that. We are also working on aero modeling. Now kids will be learning how to build those aero models and those drones and those orthinocopters. If you would have seen it in the movie Uri, that young kid comes and he builds those orthinocopters that go into the airspace, right? So this is how kids get motivated. This is how I mean, these hobbies get cultivated into some big things tomorrow, and they need to enjoy it. That is the process. So we are going. I mean, this is our main ulterior motive that we are working on.
So while I mean, you said you'll be coming up with about 100 plus courses, and that will make you as one of the only edutech startups to have
Correct.
large amount of or large number of courses to offer for students. How do you come up with these courses? Who are the experts who work with you to design these courses? Because working with kids, teaching them is completely different ball game. So do you have people like child psychologists helping you design the games or education? Can you talk about that? What is the team that helps in building these courses?
So basically, we have divided this into three parts. One is technological front, one is academic front, and the other is proofreading front, right? So what we do is whenever the experts who are working with us, rightly as you have pointed it out. So let's suppose we are catering to first to fifth standard kids. The way that they should be taught and the way the engagement has to be there is completely different, and it's unique. With Kubik's methodology, we adopt a different unique methodology for creating an engagement and interest in the kid. But the same methodology changes when you cater to 11th and 12th standard kid when he is serious and he is appearing for, let's say, JEE and NEET. For their mindset, I think that motivation is the most important thing, because to be honest, 1% of the kids make it to IIT, right? 1% of the kids make it to the MBBS colleges that they want to get into. What about the rest 99%? We cannot ignore them just because the 1% has done good. There are more engineering colleges in the country who are really good. They are at par with IITs. If not, they do not have the tag of IITs. There are other options to do. It's not the end of the life, but there has to be this motivation and guidance. Plus, I think many students even do not do good in the exam because the pressure is too much and there's no one to guide them about multitasking, about managing boards and exams together. So again, the methodology, our methods change over there for 11th and 12th. So we have experts who guide you with respect to academics, and we have experts who guide you with respect to managing stuff for preparation and for taking education ahead as well. Counseling you specifically, to be honest. Next is careers. Now, careers is a very serious stuff. I mean, the students that we are having in careers for MBA entrances, for CFA and all, they're very serious. They want to get a job. But we always train them, our tutors always try to tell them, you don't need to get a job. You have to prepare to upskill yourself. You have to gain more and more knowledge. You have to make yourself ready for that fight. You do not have to run the rat race. If you prepare yourself in that way, you're going to do good in the long run. So again, the line of thinking changes in that area. Now everything is brought together by a single technological source. Like you said, for gaming, do you have someone? So yes, for gaming, we have someone who develops the games, but the academics give him the idea. Let's suppose I want to make a story in a gamification form. I will give that idea. We'll do a brainstorming session. And it's this is our culture. We all the employees of the Cubic sit together and we do a brainstorming session at the end of the week. And this includes our 200 plus interns as well. So we have awesome inputs because these are the kids that have gone through it. We ourselves have gone through it. Some of our team members have gone through it. So we get a lot of good inputs and we implement them. We make it a point that 10 best ideas are shortlisted. And in the month, we make sure that they are implemented in the curriculum.
When it comes to profiles of the student, where are they coming from on your platform? Urban, semi-urban, rural?
So mostly we are getting students evenly from all the platforms right now. But primarily my focus was to, initially when we started this thing, my focus was to get semi-urban and rural people more onto the platform to get them acquainted with all of this stuff. But then the response from students who are in the urban system as well has been really awesome. We have been getting so many applications for this corporate leadership program. We have been getting a lot of response for our newly launched course, which is Young CEO program. So people want to learn. We even got a student from 12th standard yesterday who said, sir, I want to learn what is entrepreneurship. I just want to see what startups are. We were really thrilled to see that a 12th standard student came to us with respect to that. We're expecting at least graduates and postgraduates going to come. MBA students are going to come, or people who have got startup ideas are going to come. But he came and he said, no, I want to learn. So yeah, the exposure has been pan India, and it's not, I cannot segregate it like we got more from there or more from here. It has been even. It has been quite even. Yeah.
One thing we see is when it comes to students,
Yeah.
parents play a key role in their decision making, whether it is career, the
Yes.
courses they do, where they go for, for those extra classes or coaching.
Right.
How has
Right.
been the response of parents when it comes to Cubic Online?
Parents have been really responding to us. They keep giving us feedback. So we try to take feedbacks from parents in both ways. We try to take it from the perspective of a parent, and we try to take feedback from them from bird's eye view as well. So one thing that when we started taking, because obviously we were improvising on everything that we were doing. This was a new thing for everyone. We took in the inputs. Some of the parents told that, so we can do this thing, you can just have this thing, or we can have this session or that session. We made it a point that this is done. We did a survey and we made it a point. Most of the parents, if you go on to talk to the parents that are there with us, they are really happy with the system that we are giving them, with the courses that we are giving them, and we like to add something extra to whatever offerings that we're giving to the courses that are there with us. So every now and then, every 14 days, we have a meet with parents. We have given a separate position or a separate login onto our app where parents can log in and they can see the progress of their child. And one of the person from our end, from our team, is always in touch with parents as well as students to ask them whether they need anything, or to ask them whether the progress is satisfactory, or you want anything else to be done. This is specifically for students, because students sometimes feel shy to speak up in the class. So we assign one specific person who can be in touch with that kid, and he can be very frank with that kid, with that person, that, so I actually did not understand that concept, can you help me with it, or can you get me in touch with the faculty, or can you get me that test reset? So that sort of confidence comes in, and I mean, the communication is much clear. Same goes for the parents. We are in touch with parents from time to time to take any positive feedbacks from them.
How many students or users are there on your platform, and what are they are paid ones, or they're free model also on your platform?
So to be answering that question, if I want to answer right from first standard to careers, right, or you want me to give segregated answer for that thing? So if I give you a complete number, right, from first standard to our MBA entrance, I am not considering CFA because we have not launched it as yet, but there are free users who are using it. We have got more than 10,000 users on our platform currently within the last 6 months. And out of that, almost 3,000 users are paid. And we are seeing a growth of almost 10% every day for the paid subscription that is coming. Apart from that, we have launched this Cubic Online Partnership Program, which is not only, I mean, so we are not only focusing on improving the education. Now, penetrating the tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities is not an easy job, because it's a complete different ecosystem. That's why the likes of Byju's and other startups have not penetrated it, because it's very difficult to penetrate and change the system of education over there. So for that, we introduced this thing, Cubic Online Partner Program, because we know that people who are residing in those tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities, they are devoid of jobs. Jobs are going down, right? We need to create employment also. We have that sense of responsibility on our shoulder as a startup. So we have come up with this Cubic Online Partner Program where employment is going to be created, plus our accessibility is going to be there. So scaling up is going to happen. So I'm not seeing this with respect to of a revenue point, but I am seeing this with respect to of the numbers that we are reaching and the impact we are going to create for the tier 3 and tier 4. That was our original plan. Yeah.
India is a multilingual country, and English is not necessary. Even in urban areas, there are challenges.
Correct.
And we don't have one national language. I mean, as in Hindi is not across the country.
Exactly.
So how are you overcoming the barrier of language, especially in education?
So again, at this point, if you suppose, let's take for example JEE. So we have developed a course for JEE in Malayalam. We have our faculties have developed our JEE course in Hindi, English plus Bengali. We have our faculties who are developing this right now in Hindi, English plus Marathi, and then there's English standard one. So we have made sure that we are trying to access as many languages, as many as we can. Apart from that, now that we are speaking about languages, we have got two important courses that are coming up, which is French, German, and there are 5 languages like Russian and Mandarin and Japanese. But they're going to come in 2 ways. One for the kids in Kids Discovery platform, And second, for people who want to learn the language and they want to do a job in that country, or they want to speak that thing, they want to learn, cultivate that language into the system. So we are bringing up those things also apart from that.
Tell us about your funding. How's that coming around?
So currently, we are not looking for funding. Currently, we are going ahead with bootstrap mode. We did a pilot testing, and to be honest, pandemic helped us quite a lot. Not that the pandemic is a good thing. Pandemic is really bad, and it's bad. But the pandemic thing has accelerated the growth of startups to the next level. So right now, me and my founders, the directors who are there in the company, are handling everything, and everything's been going smooth. But yes, we do have plan, because we need to expand and we need to take it. We need to scale it in a proper level, but we need to reach that level. And after that, we have plans of expanding it.
Towards the end, I would like to ask your views about My Startup TV, a channel which is exclusive for startups. How do you rate this channel?
So, sir, to be honest, this is a really good platform for all the startups to come and speak about the startup, and even people are getting, motivated by seeing such. I was going through a channel yesterday and saw such good startups coming over here with such good innovations. Even I did not know that there are so many good innovations happening, and I got to know. So it was really good. And I think it's a good platform. I personally am bringing this young CEO program wherein we want people to know more and more about startups. So I think platforms like yours only motivate people to do such things. So really great. This is a good platform for everyone.
So finally, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to hosting you on our some of our panel talks and panel discussion shows. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me, sir. Have a nice day.
We have over 400 startups and MSME shows on our TV channel. Do check out. My Startup TV is now available on Google Play Store, so you can get all the latest news on startups and MSMEs on the move. You can also support us by subscribing to our TV channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon. You can follow us on Koo, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or visit our website www.mystartuptv.in. Thanks for watching.